What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It is Phil Nagy. It is Kit Nagy. It is Nagy on Sports. And as is our custom here when the new game comes out, it's like Christmas morning. We got to open it up and we got to play with it for just a few minutes. So, super excited to bring this one to you. Got Kit on with me as well. And the first things first is we always go through and do these are just the right out of the box Browns roster. A lot of these, of course, have been leaked, so there's not going to be a huge surprise again. So we'll talk through them really quickly, and then maybe, Kid, if there's any glaring weaknesses you want to talk about, for instance, like Deshaun Watson
What's it
being a
being a 78?
78.
Yeah, or also Miles Garrett not being in the 99 club anymore. That's interesting.
Yeah. How about DTR? Come on, put some respect on that man's lips. But at least it's his actual picture, though. I like that.
Right, that is cool.
Chubb just at a 97, Felton at the 70, Ford and John Kelly Jr. And that one, receivers, Amari Cooper back up where he belongs as a 91 and a superstar. Elijah Moore just a 79. I feel like that's going to get a pretty big buff early in the season. What do you think, Kit?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think when they see him with a quarterback that's good, we should see that go way up.
Yeah. His agility is definitely not, no offense to Amari Cooper, but it's not less than Amari Cooper.
No.
It's as
No.
much, if not better, than Amari Cooper. So 79 for him. And DPJ, Godwin, they still got him at a 95 with the wheels. At a 76, Jakeem Grant at 75. Maybe not enough love for Tillman, although they have him and David Bell both at 69. Right out of the box, Jalen Darden, Schwartz, and, of course, Michael Woods, who's already got the little injury emblem next to his name. Any other thoughts about the wide receivers, Kit?
Well, I like you said. I think we'll see some of those numbers go up as the season progresses, because I think that group in particular stands to have a lot of success this season.
For sure. For the tight ends, the Chief at 84. Hope to see that bumped pretty shortly as well. Aikens at a 73. Harrison Bryant, 69. Forrestall and the long snappers get such a shaft because they're
Right.
like, yeah, you're right. As a tight end, he probably does kind of suck, but he's like, they always get cut from every. I don't know. I feel bad for the long snap. Long snappers are people too. Dang it.
They need their own position in Madden already. Come on now.
Well, that's true. That's very true. Jed Wills, 78 for him. Hudson at 64. There's Batonio at 62 with Forbes and Dunn. Or excuse me, 62. 92.
I was going to say 62 is
Forbes and
really
Dunn
low.
at 64. Posick at a 78 with Harris and Whippler pretty close to each other. Teller just at an 86, but he is a superstar, so maybe looking for a bounce back from him. There's Martin and Gossett and Derek Kelly, and then Jack Conklin at an 80, and then Big Thanos coming in at a 68,
Nice.
and potentially looking to see that one improve as well.
Yeah, taking snaps at left
Hi,
tackle these days.
Mm-hmm.
You guys getting some good
Indeed. Welcome in,
reps.
Mitchell. Hey, George. Hey, Karen. Hi, Bang with Smoke as well. Zadarius Smith, 85 for him. Obo's going to be at a 78. McGuire, the rookie, a 66. Out of the box, Miles a 98 with his X Factor. Thomas, interestingly, 2 points above Alex Wright. Just interesting. Dalvin Tomlinson at an 80. That feels a little bit disrespectful as well. Shelby Harris at 78. We'll have to see what he looks like. Hurst at 73, then Hill, then Elliott, then Togia, then Siaki Ika all the way down here at 66 with a 90 in strength. That's not right, I don't think either. Now, again, Madden, in their defense, they try to keep it spread out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody probably that is a starting NFL player could be like an 85, But I think they try to add a little bit of variation just to try to keep it somewhat different.
Right.
That's my theory, at least. Taki 76, Matthew Adams. We haven't really heard much about him playing linebacker. We know he was brought in for special teams purposes. We'll be really watching that name, that linebacker room. Do they keep 5? Do they keep 6? Do they keep 7? Like, really
Right.
pretty interesting, even before the Jacob Phillips injury. There's A-Walk at 76. Kunashik, of course, by all accounts, has been really, really good. So 63 might end up being a little bit light for him. But I didn't even know that this guy was on the team. Cam Bright. So
yeah.
good on you, Madden, because I didn't even know that guy existed. JOK at a 79. Fields at a 67. Look for the Joker to improve over the course of the season as well. Denzel, 88 for him. 83 for Newsom, sporting that handsome number 0. MJ at 78. Then you get Ford, Cam Mitchell, and the others like
zero,
Gavin Heslop.
They fixed the zeros.
Yeah,
in
well,
the,
yeah. I mean, I've assumed
rosters.
that they would. Yeah, this
nice.
was you would assume as much. This is the first time that was a thing. So yeah, they obviously had to bake that into their game.
Right. Well, you'd think it'd be an easy
78
fix.
out of the books. Yes, you'd hopefully think that. McLeod at a 78, actually the same as Delpit, both at 78s, and no Ronnie Hickman in the game, so we may have to make Ronnie here. And this one, Cade York's going to come in at a 71, and if we scroll all the way over, it's exactly what you think, which is 97 in kick power, 73 in kick accuracy. Kick accuracy, so 95 in kick power, 81 for Bojorquez. Got to go all the way back to the left to see where he is. 78 for Bojorquez, and there is your team. Also, just because some of you like those kinds of things, your top quarterbacks, no surprise, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, Hurts, then Herbert, Prescott, Rodgers, Kirk Cousins. Right about here is where Deshaun Watson should be, in my opinion. Certainly not after Tua. Certainly not after Geno Smith, Jared Goff, and Kyler Murray. They're just waiting to see if he comes back. Nick Chubb, your top running back at 97, run CMC. Josh Jacobs, if he shows up and plays. Derrick Henry, Saquon, and Dalvin Cook, who they've still got listed as a free agent. So obviously that's another huge weapon for the New York Football Jets. Juszczyk and Patrick Ricard, who's over 3 bills now. Look at that, 6'3", 305. They say he's been training with the offensive linemen in camp this year. Yeah. 99 for Justin Jefferson. No surprise there. Tyreek Hill at a 98. He is a 99 in speed. I think they may still have him as the only 99 in speed in the game. Devontae, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase. And they did finally give Jamar Chase an X Factor. He deserved it. It's the double me X Factor. Hopkins, T-Mac, A.J. Brown. There's Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans. Oh, Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. You could have had them both. You messed up, Dallas. You messed up. Travis Kelce, 99, no surprise. Kittle, Mark Andrews, Hawkinson. Then you get Goddard's, Pitts, Waller, Freiermuth. Again, that's where the Chiefs should be. I guess he's right there, not too far out. But I think Darren Waller's maybe one too many injuries. What's up, Kish? Welcome in. Trent Williams, anyway. Tunsil, Wirfs. Wirfs is not a left tackle. Did they move him to left tackle?
No, I don't think so.
Antonio tied with Nelson. Yeah, I didn't think so either. Kelce there at 92. Zach Martin there, ahead of Teller and Lindstrom. And Lane Johnson, who the Browns proceeded to baptize for a week or a couple of days. There at a 98 as a right tackle. That's pretty aggressive. There's Lyle Collins. Defensive end, left defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence. There's Cam Jordan, Chase Young, Za'Darius. So the Za'Darius is the 4th rated one. It's pretty good. Aaron Donald, a little bit ahead of Bosa and Garrett. Then Parsons, Von Miller. I at least like that they've started, like, Micah, they don't put Micah Parsons as an outside linebacker anymore. Like, dude's an edge. Like, let's stop pretending. We just need to start making positions called edges instead of defensive ends and outside linebackers, I think. Chris Jones at a 96. Dexter Lawrence, of course, always will be remembered because that was the player that the Giants took with the Browns' first-round pick when they got Beckham. Quinnen Williams, Jonathan Allen, Vita Vea, DJ Reader. Familiar faces there. Max Crosby, again, should just be an edge. TJ Watt, similarly, just an edge. Bosa, Reddick, Judon. Ooh, Brian Burns went to 0. I didn't realize that. Fred Warner at 96. There's Roquan with his 0. Levante David, Demario Davis still there as well. Tremaine Edmonds now On the Bears, of course, Matt Milano. Interesting that he's the best right outside linebacker. Then Greenlaw, Khalil Mack, Logan Wilson, and some others. Cornerbacks, of course, out for the year. Jalen Ramsey, they still have him as the best corner in the game. Interesting. Then Jair Alexander, Pat Surtain. Then there's Sauce at 93. Still no X Factor for Sauce, just a superstar. They're going to make him prove it one more year, I guess. And then Slay, Gilmore, and Tre'Davious White, and Marshawn. Then Denzel. The first of the non-90 club is going to be Denzel. Free safeties, no surprise. Minka, Simmons, Bayard. They've been the tops for a while. Jesse Bates, of course. And the Honey Badger, then Derwin James, Buda Baker, Poyer, Harrison Smith, Jamal Adams, etc., etc. Man, look at Hufanga, 86. That's a big jump for him. No surprise. Justin Tucker, then a very large gap, then everybody else. Punters or whatever. And it looks like Justin Jefferson is the highest rated player in the game, just ahead of Pat Mahomes. So just 5.99s in the game to start out of the box. So that's not the part that you signed up to watch. Kid, any thoughts about just the general rosters while I get this game set up?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, certainly. I think we're going to see some changes. One of the things, depending on how we elect to do this, one of the things if we're in exhibition, we'll actually get the Madden updates during the season for how they think players are trending. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, we think some of those, this could be our orange and brown colored glasses speaking, but I think some of those things could stand a little improvement, shall we say? But obviously the Browns have to go out there and prove it. At the end of the day, they need to prove that they belong in that discussion. So they've got a lot to prove this season, and I think that we have a good chance of seeing just that. So certainly interesting there. If you're wondering about the music, apparently this year they did not have, or the lack thereof of music, they didn't have any just like mainstream music available on the game, which is interesting, but it does make for a quiet.
Means copyright pings.
Right? Yeah, we didn't want to have any copyright infringement stuff going on here in the video, so which is why we didn't have any of the music selected.
Eerily quiet. All right, folks, welcome in again. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy on Sports. The quarterbacks right there in the front. They're going to duke it out. We got the Steelers and the Browns here. We're just going to play a couple of quarters here of sim. Again, no sliders have been touched. This is right out of the box. No play. Yes, Wendell, it's in exhibition mode. We are not in the franchise settings at all. Welcome in, John. Welcome in, Dwayne. Welcome in, Fellergren. We just want to take a quick look. Look at those flowing locks of Kenny Pickett.
Flowing locks indeed, yes. Mitchell, to answer your question there, as actually you missed one, and Njoku just got restructured as well earlier today. So 3 big restructures done, creating cap space for the Browns. Now, there's a lot of discussion that's probably to roll over for flexibility for next year. Not that provides flexibility right now, too, if they decide they need somebody, or potentially down the stretch in the season, if they decide one piece away is all they need. Go out and make a big trade, get a big name, something or other, to if that's the one piece they need to guarantee themselves that late season run. So that's, more than anything, it's flexibility, I think, but that could be flexibility for now, flexibility for later. Obviously, they're going to have to restructure all of those contracts eventually anyway, but this was this is just AB doing AB things, getting way out ahead of things, and that has served him very well in the past.
Indeed, it has, and yeah, I'd heard that too. I didn't realize that they said he broke his wrist, and he had surgery, John. I hadn't heard that either. That stinks for the kid, because even in preseason, you were like, oh, he's going to be a problem with Lockett and Metcalf. Like, they're going to be dangerous.
Yep.
There's his 2022 season stats for Deshaun Watson. Hi, Rick. Welcome in. All right, well, let's see what this looks like. This is it. This is the first snap, and of course we get these lovely little delays before things. That seems to be an exhibition mode thing that, for reasons that I'm not sure of,
gone away, but maybe it's not as bad. I guess we'll see.
Hasn't gone away. Yep, we'll see. All right, quick little RPO to the right side, and it looked like it was dropped. Devontae Kazee But that looked like it was an RPO. He looks like he was maybe going to give it, and then at the last second pulled it. It looked like it was David Bell, actually. I can't get over Pickett's hair. It's ridiculous.
It's pretty good, but no, that definitely was an RPO. I like that. That was the best looking RPO I've ever seen in Madden.
There you go. Now we're setting up a screen to the left side. It's a tight end screen to the Chief, and it'll gain positive yardage.
Hey,
there's much rejoicing.
It's better than going backwards and/or the terrible pressure in his face. Stefanski looks a lot better in this game, that's for sure. It looks a lot more like Stefanski, too.
Yeah, Wendell, they always mess with those kinds of things every year. Anyway, like changing the font and stuff. It's like, whatever. I don't necessarily feel one way or to utter about it. And that looked like they tried to throw it to Chubb, and he was hit by Levi Wallace, and that's going to be incomplete and a 4th down. So a 3-and-out to start the game. And I can't X through any of these cutscenes.
That's not good.
I do not know why they don't let me do that. Yes. That's why they're always going to be longer in exhibition mode. Nice punt by Bajorquez here. And Gunnar Olszewski will make the fair catch. All right. Kenny Montana. Double gloves himself. Out onto the field. Look at his season stats. Also not good. And he didn't just play the 6 games at the end of the year.
I like their between cutscene animation stuff is better. I did not like the last couple iterations of that. I thought were a bit, I don't know. I didn't like them, but I like that one better.
Rick, thanks for that feedback. We're trying a newer arrangement with the audio, so we appreciate that feedback. We will make that change as Pickett goes for 4. I can also get a little bit closer to my mic too as well. Mitchell, I know we've people have been talking about it for a while. Again, I think it's just this is going to be standard operating procedure. I think you're going to continue to see him do this. And again, it's not like you're trying to circumvent the salary cap. Like at some point, Deshaun Watson's salary cap is going to be very large.
Yep.
But they're just trying to push it further and further down the road when there will be much, much bigger salary cap. And so my guess is that, as we talked about right at the beginning, probably going to see them roll most of, not all of that over to next year to be able to use, unless there's like a slam dunk like, hey, we just found out Aaron Donald's available and he's got a $20 million cap hit. Then they could actually do something like that, as Najee Harris has a nice run for the first down of the new game.
I'll tell you what, on a slightly different topic, it does seem that they made a point of trying to show off, look how much better our hair animation is this year, as we've seen multiple individuals with long locks on the sidelines with the hair animation going like, look at us, we've got better hair this year.
Yeah, so I think the people that are like, oh, that means they're going to go sign the biggest free agent kicker. Oh, that means they're going to go get Leonard Fournette. Oh, that means they're going to trade for Stephon Diggs. Like, I don't foresee any of those things. They could still bring in another kicker, but they're not going to need $37 million to do it.
No.
Pickens will catch one off the left from Pickett. So Pickett looks good. So, again, the Steelers look fine. Wendell, I'm not sure. I know that YouTube TV has Sunday Ticket this year.
I didn't do the package, but I have Sunday Ticket.
I think he does, Bo. I think he really looks good now.
He does. Yep.
By the time Delpa gets in there.
Stefanski, there's another one
the
with
hair
the hair.
Is insane.
they're just showing it off.
I know. Look at our beautiful animation. It does look good on my screen.
It does. It looks nice.
That's for sure. We're pushing this baby out in HD, so it looks good. Pickett now, back to pass. He'll fire a nice little skinny post, and he beat it right in front of Thornhill. And that's Pickens again, and he has looked good so far on this opening drive.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. AFC North certainly is loaded this year, and a lot of folks calling for AFC North as the best of the best in terms of best division, most competitive division out there right now.
Yep. Quick little dump to the left side to Deontay Johnson. What's up, 504? We're good to have you on. Yeah, that's right. Justin Herbert does have some really beautiful hair. Trevor Lawrence as well. Could be like Fabio's running around out there. Bo, I'm not sure. We haven't, we saw one screen pass and it was pseudo-normal. We haven't seen the quarterback pocket mechanics be ridiculous yet. Nice
I like that tackle. Yeah, that was physical, and the mechanics of it looked right. That's one of the things. The physics of the game have been spotty and suspect at times, as they're continuing to show us more hair shots. But yeah, there are times there are times where the mechanics and physics of the game just didn't look right before. But I've seen a lot that I've liked as the Steelers are going to score here. Deontay Johnson over the middle.
Yeah, Browns blitzed the farm, and Pickett got rid of it quickly enough to Deontay Johnson. And again, part of the fun, if not unfun parts of Coach Mode. That time I wanted to see the replay, and they wouldn't let me see it. Not Coach Mode, but Exhibition Mode.
Right.
That light just blew right through that one.
Well, like anything else,
let's see if we get the old 45 seconds before the kickoff break. We'll see.
Right. Yeah, like anything else, I think there are always going to be, trade-offs, pluses and minuses. So it's just whether or not the juice is worth the squeeze kind of a thing.
Yep. And it looks like we do get the completely unnecessary 45-second delay. But at least they're showing things other than just the huddle. Remember, they just showed the
That's
huddle
all it was. Overhead.
45 seconds straight. You're like, this is ridiculous.
The overhead shot of the huddle for no reason. I guess maybe they're trying to simulate TV timeouts. Maybe that's what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, drive number 2 for the offense. Let's see if it looks a little bit better.
So clearly the answer is that's where we need to cut it to commercial.
Yes. Well, we need all of that. We haven't started to sell our rights yet. Our advertising rights.
Right.
All right. Turn around. Play action. Watson rolling. And he's going to take a sack from T.J. Watt. So Watt gets home, and again, I can't X through any of these, sadly, so we're going to get to watch it again as he gets around Conklin. And there's the quarterback kind of running away in a direction again. Maybe he wasn't outside of the tackle box. That's why I didn't throw it away. I don't know. Now he'll just tuck it and run from the 10 to the 15. Watson hit at the 22-yard line. Give him 11. Gets most of that sack yardage back and sets up a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, that one actually looked like he decided pretty quickly he wanted to run out of there as he didn't like what he saw. So that looked more realistic, escaping outside of the edge of the rush, which, good play by Watson. I liked that one at least.
11 personnel. They set up a screen. It actually kind of works. Posick decleats somebody, but not quite enough room.
Looked like
for Nick Chubb. He'll pick up 8.
Looked like a clothesline out there. It was nasty. His feet were in the air at the end of that block.
Yes, they were. Bajorquez in again. So 2 3-and-outs for the Browns on offense. Just what we thought would happen. Again, we've done nothing to touch the sliders. The only thing that I turned off was the announcers. That was it. But much consternation and discussion happening about doing our sims in exhibition mode for several reasons, but you're seeing some of the negative reasons right now, which are all of these little delays and gaps in time where, maybe they're just trying to sort of simulate, hey, did you ever know what players do while you're watching commercials? They sit in the huddle and talk to each other. I mean, I don't know.
No.
But
no, they don't.
It's just going to make our hour sims like an hour and 20 minutes. Just
right.
Kind of lame. Nagy with another nice run up the middle. A-walk there to shut him down after 4. Just did 8-minute quarters today in this one, too. Obviously, we'll be at the full 15. The difference being, the nice parts is, as players get buffed, hopefully, or nerfed over the course of the season, or injuries do happen, you can obviously run it with the most up-to-date rosters that Madden has, which you don't get in. It's tipped up and almost picked. Newsome with that 0. He looks sharp, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does. And yes, John, I caught that. Actually, that would be not crazy, although crazy at the same time. But it's not out of the realm of possible that all of 4 teams are going to be that good. And what would be super bizarre about that is there's a scenario there where all 4 teams could end up in the playoffs, although that's a super slight chance. It's a very easy interception dropped by Ward there. I don't like that.
Yep, trying to go for Allen Robinson. He threw off that back foot. That was our first off-platform throw. And by all accounts, it should have been intercepted. But the Browns do force the turnover, and so the punter into the game for the Steelers. And that's not Presley Harvin III, so I don't know who that is that's punting for them. Jakeem Grant gets a couple. Sounds like he was back at practice yesterday and Sunday.
He was.
As the first line kick and punt returner, and running sort of the Elijah Moore role with the second team. So interesting to see how that, as another name in a all of a sudden very crowded wide receiver room. Watson out of a shotgun here. Let's get a first down. Chubb's going to get swallowed immediately.
Well, there's
Always
certainly
struggle to run against the 3-4.
I was. They were talking about it on CBG today, but there's certainly some discussion to be had. Speaking of the 53, and I know I included a couple of them in my 53 that I posted on the channel. If you want to check that out, it's on our Discord. But there's some discussion about, this may be a season where you don't see some of those, kind of traditional core special teamers. That's why they're on your roster. Maybe Jakeem Grant is different in that he can provide enough in the wide receiver room that they may elect to take him in spite of it. But they've got so many talented guys that are great at their primary position that having special teamers alone, if they're not comfortable with that individual being, if they're not comfortable with Adams as a linebacker, if they're not comfortable with Ford as a cornerback, so on and so forth, even though they brought him in to be a core special teamer, does not mean they're necessarily going to keep those guys.
All good points. Well, I'm not particularly impressed with the Browns' offense so far.
No, certainly
Play calling
not.
has been bad. Execution has been bad. Nick Chubb getting tackled by single linebacker. So far been pretty uninventive. And again, that's why Kit and I kind of go through and make our own playbook and took out all the screens and things like that in the past.
Well, and the other part of this, too, is we have to keep in mind that, Madden is reactionary in terms of they go off of what they see on the field and not what they project to be likely to happen. And the Browns haven't, exactly had, they're not coming off of a great season by any means. I mean, they were 7-10. Obviously, they had their struggles. Deshaun Watson did not look great. That's why he's abysmally ranked here. I mean, he's down there, and he's got some competition with rookies for even though he's proven that he is a player in the league and can be at the elite level, has been multiple years in a row at the elite level. So
yeah, that too, Rick. Our O-line pretty disrespectful. 77-5 in your total yardage difference, by the way.
But at least
Kenny Pickett will take off nicely,
but at least the hair looks good, says
yeah, that's
Bo.
right. But at least the hair, that's right. The hair does look good.
Sure does.
Hair looks great. Siaki Ika got some of that hair. Ugh.
The nice shiny reflections off the helmet. I mean, looking sharp, looking clean.
Yeah, no, I mean, the graphics are always going to look extra good. Nice play there, swatted away by Newsome. The Browns going to get off the field again. It's also, I mean, again, you just, you wait and see, but, Kenny Pickett has not really been under duress, and I'm sorry, but the Browns' pass rush against the Steelers' offensive line should look much different than the Steelers' pass rush against the Browns. And that's not that the Steelers have a bad pass rush, but the Browns have a way better line.
Oh, yeah. Yep, absolutely. I mean, if the Browns can get it done against the Eagles, I mean, that should be all you need to know. Both O-line and D-line in that discussion, by the way.
I was going to say on both lines. Yeah, on both lines. All right, come on, Deshaun. We're going for a first down.
Fire EA.
That's fun next to Cam Hayward.
I wish we could, George. Wish we could.
Yeah, I wish we could too. Option keeper to the right side. Hey, a first down. Our first game. Our first down of the new game.
And a golf
The
clap.
option keeper to the right side.
But he looked good doing it, to be fair.
When is which game, Bo? He did, yeah.
Are you talking about when is the Steelers game? Steelers are week 2, right? Because Bengals, Steelers, Titans, Ravens, right?
Titans, Ravens. Yeah.
And then week 5 bye.
So.
3 AFC North teams in the first 4 weeks, and then a bye. Because great scheduling there.
Oh, you Browns Eagles. We were talking about how they performed in the practice.
Right.
Now Watson's going to keep it to the right side again, and he'll dive down. That was kind of nice.
And they don't
slide, dove down, tried to get to the sticks. 3rd and 3.
So, Bo, if they play the Eagles this year, it'll be in the Super Bowl. So I'd say February.
You mean when they play the Eagles? It will be in the Super
Bowl. Well, I'm not confident the Eagles make it. They might not.
There you go. 3rd and 3 now over the middle, and doinks it into Keon O'Neal for reasons unnecessary, because that's what Kyler Murray would do. And since we're rated worse than Kyler Murray, that's how we throw the football.
Gross.
Yeah, you're right, Wendell. He did try to dive for the first down. It was a couple yards short, though.
But was he spending his evening playing Call of Duty, or...
John, I did see that, and the Commanders players were like throwing up the L's to the sideline. Frankly, I think they're probably happy that it happened, because so many people are talking about it, and like in the grand scheme of things, it makes absolutely zero difference to how they play in the regular season. Yes, John. Watson is worse than Kyler Murray by 1 point.
Yes, we were shocked by that. He is somehow better rated in Madden than Deshaun Watson. But we've also seen we've seen direct evidence of Madden nerfing guys for stuff either on or off the field that they didn't like. Myles Garrett in your picture is a prime example of that. The whole helmet swing incident there with Mason Rudolph, and not only did he lose overall rating, but he lost an X Factor out of that. In fact, I think he was a regular star for a while after that happened. He wasn't even a superstar.
Yeah.
And talk about a nerf. That's a massive nerf. For nothing that has anything to do with actual performance, right? That has nothing to do with performance on the field.
Well, we don't have the tape. We can't prove it actually happened. We have recordings of everything else, but not that for some reason.
Yeah.
Pickett. Nice catch. Baby Gronk, as people have tried to call him. Freiermuth. Thornhill with the one in coverage. I wonder if that font on their jersey, on their nameplates, it seems different. I wonder if that's just a Madden thing, or if the Browns actually changed the font on their nameplates this year.
I don't know. I haven't gotten. Let me take a look. I hadn't looked closely at that.
Deontay Johnson wide open in the Browns secondary. Kenny Pickett slicing and dicing like a young Tom Brady that he clearly must be. Yes, very good point, Bo. 3 tight ends to the right side. They'll run that direction, and Delpit comes and stick his nose in there. So, again, appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, Nagy on Sports. This is what we do, and the new game finally comes. which it did, which timed out pretty well because we played the Super Bowl with the last game of the old game yesterday, so that worked out pretty well for us. So excited to have it on. We'll be jumping into our official 2023 Browns season with it makes you play, if you choose to, play the preseason games. So we can do those. But otherwise, we'll get our sim season going here. We'll do games in advance of when they happen. So the week leading up to September the 10th, we will do the Browns and Bengals, our official sim. And then if we have time and Kit and I can get to it, we'll do the like a game of the week poll. So basically there'll be like sort of 3 sims per week, if that makes sense, with one of them being the Browns sims, kind of leading up to the week. And then, yeah, that's usually how we roll. And then as soon as the season ends, we'll jump into a virtual off season and keep going, which then it starts to get a little crazier, but sometimes more fun. Pickett to a wide open Allen Robinson. Not sure what that little dance is that he's doing, but it's like the bunny hop or something? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems that way, Mitchell.
You said they have MJ looking like a linebacker. Well, and that's, I mean, on paper, on digital paper, like the Browns are tied for the 5th best rated team in the game. I mean, they're like for those who were on at the very beginning when we started of the game, like they're an 87 and the Steelers are an 81. Like, on paper, we should be better than this. And again, I realize that doesn't happen that way every time. Sometimes the better teams don't lose, but to look as inept as we've looked is a little bit surprising. Wish there was a slider where you could turn down like how much the momentum meter affected things.
Yeah.
Because ever since they added that a couple of games ago, it's like, because we're pinned all the way to the left for the Steelers now, so like, everything they touch is gold, and everything that happens, like, we're gonna like behind the 8 ball already.
Yep.
Now Chubb's the number 1 rated running back in the game, Fellegrin. We just haven't seen it so far in this sim. Haven't seen him do anything Chubb-like.
Nope, sure haven't.
He's got negative yards rushing and a drop pass. Now Watson will spin, throw off platform. Hey, there was a Brown there, though. We'll take that, and then Mari Cooper gets hurt. Man, a lot of injuries. We just saw Miles Boykin, and now Cooper runs to the locker room. So, okay.
Certainly a lot of the injuries probably have to turn that way down.
Yeah, well, again, that's probably a 50 right out of the Bucks, too, and I usually turn that down to like 10. And again, if we're mirroring reality, we usually turn them off all the way and then let Madden update the injuries. He is a 97, Wendell. Nick Chubb's rating is a 97. 2nd and 5. Blitz coming. They're setting up screen to the right side. Chubb with one man to beat, and he won't beat him. Cole Holcomb, former Commander. Well, I will say at least right now the screen game does look fixed in terms of they're actually getting rid of the ball and not just eating big sacks. Right. So that will say maybe a check in the win column.
Right. Well, that and the actual, deciding to leave the pocket so far has been better. I see it a wide open. I didn't catch the number.
His decision to leave. It goes Goodwin,
Goodwin,
19,
yeah.
And now they're pushing and shoving after the game. Which, how come Goodwin can't catch that? Come on, Madden.
Yeah. Well,
I think the read in the deep ball. He threw it right away.
Yeah, I think they were just electing to say that Deshaun Watson overthrew him, but that doesn't seem very likely. That's one of Deshaun Watson's many strengths.
Yeah. Yeah, but I haven't dug into his individual statistic. Like, which specifically are they nerfing him on to get him down?
Well, I mean, we've seen that with
78.
We've seen that with quarterbacks where we couldn't even figure it out. Like, what is it that is nerfed in here? And they still play like the ratings would not suggest, baked into the code somehow.
Yeah. Yep, potentially. Steelers are going to try to go with 30 seconds. Good job tackling Freiermuth for a short gain in bounds. But we do appreciate everybody being on. Thank you so much to our subscribers. If you are excited for some NFL football this coming season and you want to see those sims happen before they actually happen, you want to make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, or you can join us on our Discord channel as well, which is where you can find out in advance of when we are going to sim. It's picked! Go, MJ, go! He might score on the last play of the half. Touchdown, Browns! And all is right in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what I liked about that one. What worked perfectly in that one is he didn't hesitate. He just ran. There was no little weird shifty step to the side, none of that other nonsense. He just caught the ball and he ran with it. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's not like it we've seen in previous games where it was like an awkward delay or a shift to the side or a weird juke or something where then the defense or what was the offense is able to catch them prior to the pick six. That was actually more like you expect to see.
Well, how about the Browns? Quick little chunk out of the momentum as well, 14-7. So, yeah, the pick sixes are there. And, yeah, you're right. Sometimes they do those artificial jukes to the side. Welcome in, North Star. Appreciate you being on. Thank you so much. So, looks like we get some halftime highlights. That's new.
That's cool. I like that. That's nice. Get to recap some of the things that happened.
One of our big... Yeah, that's been one of our biggest gripes. If you remember back in the day, we're like, oh, there's a big section of green grass. I won't run that way. I'll run right into the pile. You know what I mean? Like, that's not real. People wouldn't do that. So, and I think that was one of the things that when George posted that video was that they really talked about trying to improve on was that field sense technology.
Right.
Where there's supposed to be better AI about like, oh, nobody's that way. I'll run that way.
Did you see that? A Steeler player just grabbed a helmet. He was already wearing a helmet and tried to put a helmet on top of a helmet. That was incredible.
No, I missed it.
It was so good. Anybody in the chat see that? There was a dual helmet situation going on.
Did he like...
He did. Did
he actually succeed, or did he like try to put it... Or did he like discover like it was like a built-in like gaff where it's like, oh no, I'm already wearing one?
No, it was not a gaff. It was like animated to show like I didn't complete the motion, so I couldn't really tell. But he had it like mostly over his head on top of the other helmet.
Well, we'll have to go back and
extra
protection. Check that on the replay. Remember, right after the second half kick, or right before the second half kick. Yeah, well, you know, concussions are dangerous.
I'm glad you saw it, 504. Thank you. That was so funny.
I was kind of like looking down at the chat, like, oh, here we go. Here's the 30 seconds of cutscene before they'll kick it off.
Right. And I'm sure it's just an early release glitch or something in the game, but that was wild. I've never seen anything like that.
And there are a couple of things. I mean, obviously, yes, we've certainly seen our fair share of glitches. But sometimes I wonder if some of those things are like little Easter eggs where they'll put in there like, hey, if you're paying close attention, this guy's going to try to put a helmet, you know.
Yeah, so they
take another guy's helmet and hide it on the sideline or something like that.
So confirmed, put it on like you wasn't wearing one, yeah. Like there wasn't one already on his head.
There you go. 3rd and 1 here. Pickett. Browns rush forward. Quick little out route. First down. Pickens in. Makes a man miss and then takes a hit.
Nice little juke, though.
I just went back. That was amazing. Okay. Yeah, no, the jukes have definitely gotten... Those seems to have improved over the last couple of seasons, I feel like. It's less just like, now I will jump cut immediately to the side. You know, like they become more realistic.
504 saying it was a Guardian cap he was trying to put on, even though it looked just like a helmet.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, he's a wide receiver, though. He wouldn't have to wear the Guardian cap, but yes.
Apparently,
those look so weird.
Yeah, seriously. Apparently, though, they're even if a player wants to wear one of those in a game, the NFL stipulates they may not.
Oh, really?
Not allowed to wear them in games.
I thought I had heard that they would. I had thought that I had heard something about they were maybe trying to mandate that all like offensive and defensive linemen would wear them in games. Too.
Yeah, I know. They have banned them from competitive play, but they are mandated in practices, but not allowed in the games.
It seems interesting.
It is interesting. I think it's because of probably because of branding. Honestly, because a lot of the NFL branding is on the helmet. Outside, the Browns, it is the helmet, but everybody else it's on the helmet.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Of course, we still got the brownie elf on the center of the field. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
So I believe the dog and the elf are still duking it out. So the Steelers will run block more effectively, and Harris has looked pretty solid. 11 carries, 61 yards to start this one.
Yeah, that's why it kind of doesn't make sense, 504, that they've banned it from games, but they're mandating it in practice. If they're so concerned about safety, then why aren't they letting players wear them in the game?
I wonder how heavy it is. Like, how much more weight is it adding to their heads and their necks?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure that helmet, even from the time you were wearing a helmet, Kit, I'm sure they're so much lighter and more.
Oh yeah,
they technologically savvy now. That
I
remember putting trying yours on or whatever, and like, these things are stupid heavy. How do you even just hold your damn head up? These are crazy.
Yep, they're definitely heavy. Or they were. I mean, they're not as much so anymore, but they certainly were.
Nagy into the end zone. Well, they have the female ref. One of the female line judges was there in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no, they've had the female refs for a couple games. No, they've had them for a couple games, I think. Now that I'm remembering that, I feel like I've seen them before. As we continue to try to find little nuance. New things here. Mike Tomlin sporting a lovely white trouser.
Yeah, Mason, they're not looking great in this sim, unfortunately, and we talked about how that might be baked in. But on the other hand, we have done 0 to sliders, and I think there are probably some adjustments that we could afford to make here.
Yeah. But yes, the offense in particular. Yeah, I wonder how much of like the team scheme and game planning, and you probably lose all of those things as well in exhibition. You could go with the live playbooks, which in theory are being updated based on, and that's the other thing, is like nobody really knows what the Browns offense is going to be just yet.
Right.
So yes, you're right. They're probably just guessing. As Nick Chubb now 3 carries for -4 yards. Madden, best running back in the game. Mike took us.
It's not that the Steelers' defense is bad, but Nick Chubb has
they're
put a
very
lot.
good defense.
Yeah, the Nick Chubb though has put some significant stats up against the Steelers. I mean, let's be real here. He has definitely ran against the Steelers. Actually, that was the most productive offensive play probably we've seen in the game. That actually looked good.
Doubled his yards in one throw to Elijah Moore. Man, the hair, they really are making a big deal about the hair.
It's like the first thing I noticed is like how much focus there was, because it's not like, they're force focusing it. It's very clear that was intentional. It has been highlighted in multiple different ways. With multiple different players.
It sure has. It surely has. Second and 6 coming up here for the Browns. Appreciate everybody being on again. This is just a little bit of a preview, short little 8-minute quarter exhibition here with a brand new game, fresh out of the box, no changes as Chubb gets back to 0 yards rushing. But I just wanted to show people kind of what it looked like. Our first observation. Ooh, look at
Taki. Wow.
Our first initial observations with the game here so far. Chubb with the heavy set in front of him. And they'll stretch it left side to him. And he makes a nice cut in the middle for a first down. That was a nice run.
Hey,
finally.
A Chubb run. That looked right, finally, for once.
Yeah.
We got our first of the ball game.
Yeah. I wonder, too, like, what do they say, like, okay, whatever haircut you have on August 10th, take a picture and send it to, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
How do they know?
I don't know.
Like, which people have long hair and which people do not. Dart over the middle again to Elijah Moore, and this has been by far
the best drive.
The best drive so far for the Browns.
Absolutely the best drive, but the point I was going to make is look how clean Chubb's jersey is. That is never the case, ever. He always has, like, the least clean jersey of anybody out there. I mean, his numbers would be green by now.
Mm-hmm. He'll stretch it to the right side, get through quickly, and then get dragged down. So he's had 20 yards in the last 3 carries. Now positive 15 for the game. Fabio is on the sideline again.
Yeah, seriously, where's Clay Matthews and Troy Polamalu in this game? With the hair game, I mean, we got to do this right.
That's right. Who was the other one that's been... Oh, is it Mahomes who's in those Head & Shoulders commercials with Troy Polamalu about his hair?
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome in, Don. Yeah, it's... this first sim out of the box has not been particularly kind to the Browns offense, with the exception of this drive, which has actually looked pretty decent. But yeah, Deshaun Watson just 8 of 12 for 62 yards, and Chubb has about 5 carries for 9 yards. Watson, dump it to the right side to Chubb. And one defensive back in space against Chubb. I just don't know.
Nope. At a minimum, he's getting an extra 3 to 5 yards out of that through the would-be tackler. That, especially a guy that size. Nick Chubb does not go down on first contact. But, you know, I mean, we all know that. Madden doesn't seem to understand it, but... Now, something like that, where there are like 3 or 4 tacklers, okay, I could see it, but certainly not a single tackler, and especially an undersized single tackler in space.
Yeah. And they'll run Chubb again on a 3rd and 13, setting up the Cade York field goal, just where we want it. Let's see how Cade looks for the first time in the game. Is
Chubb throwing a punch?
Fisticuffs afterwards with TJ Watt.
That is about as unrealistic a thing I've ever seen. Not only does he not celebrate, but I can't even picture Chubb getting upset enough to throw a punch. Like, that's just so not Chubb.
I don't know. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 11, though. Lots of time for Watson. End zone touchdown! Elijah Moore was wide open.
Yeah, that was pretty.
4th and 11, and the Browns have life.
That was pretty. I liked that right there. Just creating all kinds of space for himself was Elijah Moore out there in the corner. Beautiful throw from Watson. Looks off the safety and just comes right back with a dime.
That was a really pretty throw. All right, well, 4th and 11, and Stefanski goes for it. Love it.
Yeah, with a schemed up a touchdown on it too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so 21-14. Don't call it a comeback. Yeah, man, look at that jawline. That handsome-looking man.
think the
Nick
one I
Chubb's
was
playing special teams. I don't see it.
No, certainly not. No, I was going to say I think the one I was most impressed with in terms of handsome-looking men out there was the Taki. My goodness, Taki looks good.
Yeah, that hair was beautiful.
It was.
Appreciate everybody being on.
It was our own little glimpsing of Palomalu on our sideline there.
That's
That was our version.
Absolutely. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy on Sports here again. Our unveiling. We went through the whole Browns roster, every rating. If you want to see what they are right out of the box, you can go back to the very beginning of this video. Then we went through the top players at each position, and then we've just run a little 8-minute quarter game here, just to sort of see what it looks like. There's Mike Ford in on the tackle and reels in the fish.
Interesting.
2nd and 12. They'll lose 2 yards with the Steelers.
Well, there was a hair shot. You see that? That was like 3 in a row.
Yeah. Oh, a skinny post, and Najee Harris lined up as a receiver and was wide open. And Pickett, who is again looking like Tom Brady in this one, delivers a strike right there. Man, MJ Emerson was woefully behind him.
Yes, he was.
Dwayne wants a pick 6 here. Pickett back to pass. Surprised with how much they're throwing the ball. This one's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, he seemed to have trouble coming out of his break there. It looked a little awkward, just kind of turning around slowly in a circle. I'm not sure what was going on with it, but did not seem quite right, as normally the breakdown, come back to the ball kind of look out of the break is a little more seamless than that one.
Yeah, Pickett right side, out route, right near the sticks. Good tackle by Denzel. Gets Freiermuth out of bounds. Stop the clock at the 43-yard line. A big 3rd and 2 here. They keep showing Kellen Mond. I guess
I was wondering about that. Yeah, actually, that's probably exactly why. But I was wondering the same thing. Why Kellen Mond?
Why Kellen Mond? Well, you're not going to show Josh Jobs because he has alopecia, right? Which means he can't grow hair. Doesn't he have that condition? He has like no eyebrows. And no hair on his head?
I think that's correct. And clearly, that doesn't fit into the aesthetic for the game this year.
Yes, that's the first brainstorming meeting for Madden 24, and they're like, "Guys, what do we got?" One guy just goes up to the whiteboard and writes, "Hair."
Oh no!
I love it. It'll revolutionize the game. We want the best looking hair in the history of video games.
They built a new engine just for the hair.
Very little pressure. Yeah.
They, actual gameplay be darned, but let's make sure the hair is right. We don't need situational football. We've got hair.
Yeah. Well, they've got it. Cooper wears that little skull cap. He's over there. And they are. Their attention to detail on some things is unparalleled.
Just wish there were some other things. I would rather have not as good graphics and better ball.
How about JOK knocking that one out of Pickens? Hitting him with the old finisher. Pickens not happy about that.
Brings up a 4th and 5.
They're in Boswell range, and Tomlin, get out there, kid. This one from 47. Boswell towards the dog pound. That's good. And again, we sit and wait and have to watch every cut scene. Or the gray screen of death, perhaps. Hello? Whoop.
The brown screen.
Whoop, gray.
That was an interesting camera angle there. I think they meant
Yeah,
it to
it
be
sure
outside
was.
of a sidewall or something, and they ended up inside of the sidewall.
Yeah. Yes, they did. Grant from his one. See if he can look explosive. Oh, just kidding. He's going to get thrown to the ground
Right.
by the linebacker. Picked
like
him up one leg and threw him to the ground.
It's like a pile driver.
Yeah. Yeah, the next update will be all the players will have played the game, and they'll be like, oh, bro, I got to change my hair so it looks better on the game. They're all going to get their hair cut. Petition Madden to change that.
Gotta be looking fly in the game, you know.
Right.
Gotta make sure you got that hair. I guess folks like Dobbs are absolutely hosed. Poor Dobbs.
Another run for Nick Chubb. Chubb 9 carries, 16 yards. And that tells you about how it's gone for the Browns on offense. I'll trust you on that one, Mason. I was not my wrestling was early WWF, and this one's going to be tipped, and then the interception is dropped. Cooper was there.
Yeah, I remember Goldberg, but I was not a fan.
I will believe you if that's the, yeah.
I remember him, didn't particularly care for him, and I was not overly big into the WWF anyway. It was always fake to me. I wasn't actually a wrestler, so like, this is all fake, though.
Knocked away there, Donovan Peoples-Jones. First time we've called his name and targeted. Shannon Sullivan swats it away. Another fourth down attempt coming for the Browns. Again, appreciate everybody being on. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy. If you haven't had a chance, make sure you hit the like button as well, as it helps grow our YouTube audience. Also, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe, we would appreciate that, as we could try to continue to grow the channel as well. There's a nice dig route to the right side, and Donovan Peoples-Jones with the first down. Watson now 11 for 17 for 95 yards. Watch out, kids. He's got 95 yards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in line. It's in line with what he was doing in the 6 games at the end of the season last year, which is what they're going off of, I'm sure. And you know, it's not outside of the realm of expectation. It's not what we probably expect. Is hey, a broken tackle for Chubb, the first of the game.
Yes, we'll take it.
But no,
let's go. You got to hurry up here.
Yeah, I certainly do. As clock management doesn't seem to be much better, unfortunately.
No.
But I will say I lost my train of thought. Nope. Maybe it'll come back to me.
It's all right. George, has that been your experience? I know you've played it for a few more days than we have. Does Watson need a good buffing before the Sims actually start? Or do we trust Madden to... I don't know how often they upgrade their rosters every week.
I remembered where my train of thought went. And, yeah, I think they do update week to week. So that is something that, you know, if Watson comes out just, you know, hair on fire, so to speak, and is just lighting up the league, looking like a boss out there, this could look very different very quickly if we're playing in exhibition. But again, lots of downsides with exhibition, not just the delays, which we've seen, you know, not being able to skip through cutscenes is rough. The forced huddles and just dead air is an ugly pick thrown there. But also, you know, can't maintain the season stats. You got all kinds of other things going on as well that are limiting.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll definitely QC it a little bit and find. We just want to find what everyone's better for you guys. This is what it's always been about, is trying to make it as realistic as possible.
I like it, Rick.
That's funny.
The game was terrible. And it was. I agree. Absolutely terrible.
It was. Good word. Excuse me. Gosh, first day of school with the kids today. Gotta get my sea legs back. Yawning by 10 o'clock. Browns will call timeout. So, again, we'll QC it out. We might do a couple other test sims just to see what it looks like. We just want it to be as realistic for you as possible. So whether that's in franchise mode, whether that's sucking it up and dealing with these little time delays. I guess more time to chat with you guys on
That's
the
right.
Sims.
That's right.
With all these extra little delays.
And admire all the hair.
With and all of the roster updating. Yes, and admiring all the hair. So.
That's because that's what they spent most of their breaks, most of their cutscenes seem to have some aspect of, look at all this hair.
Yeah. Somebody's hair is for sure getting highlighted.
Yep.
In fact, that time it looked like George Pickens was petting Najee Harris's hair. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I haven't gone in stat by stat. So George breaking it down for us right there, which is that his awareness is a 72 right now, which is lower than Bryce Young, Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton.
That is just unconscionable. I mean,
Daniel
are you kidding me right now? That's obscene.
Yeah,
they're so wrong.
Like I said, we may make a couple of things. We may make a couple of little changes before we wait for Madden to catch up with the rest of the world. Because yeah, that's just grody. Nice punt out at the 1. Yeah, Darnold, says the 49er fan, who's currently trying to win the backup job with Trey Lance.
Just so long as you're using Head and Shoulders, I suppose. There.
That's right.
John.
Head off all. I was gonna say, John. I was expecting the hairable joke from you, buddy.
Right. Exactly. Just keep
the official channel comedian.
So long as we're keeping the dandruff in check, we don't need the snowflakes to go along with it.
The same as Mike White. Bluff.
Oh my god!
Come
really?
on,
Mike
EA?
White? What? Oh, that is
Mike White of Jet fame, who's now I think the backup in Miami.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, he looks like a quarterback with Mike White's awareness back there. Oh, you're welcome, buddy. You've earned it. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm a little disappointed that you didn't come up with the hairable joke.
Right, but we appreciated it anyway.
Slide on this one.
We appreciate the contribution anyway, and it's always fun. I mean, we enjoy our community around here, and you always have to have the class clown or the comedian around. It's so it is enjoyable. Actually, and in general, we both enjoy the good joke. A good dad joke is always a win, and a good pun is always a win too. So
absolutely, 4th and 10 from the 1. But yeah, I would say just getting his awareness turned up, and my guess is all the rest of his stats are probably just fine if you got that awareness back up to where an NFL starting quarterback should be. Hey, how about that throw on 4th and 10 from the 1 to Elijah Moore? He probably instantly becomes an 85 or an 86 would be my guess.
Speaking of that, that is a good joke, by the way. That is a good joke, by the way, John. Speaking of which, though, as memory serves, wasn't that the name of your trivia group there at Damon's?
It sure was. Faux pas, yeah.
Faux pas, yeah. All right, I remember that.
Yeah, very well done. Anybody remember Damon's?
I sure do.
For the old rib restaurants.
So
and then
good.
They had the 4 giant screens with projectors, and then they would do a trivia night every week. And my high school team name was Faux Pas.
Yeah, it was like the OG before B-Dubs got the game thing going. Damon's was out in front of that.
Indeed, it was. Well, here's the statistics. Not that you need to relive them. Watson 13 of 25 for 142. 52% completions, that's pretty accurate for what he actually does. He did scramble 3 times for 38 yards. That part was great. Nick Chubb 9 for 16. Woof. Chubb 5 catches, maybe. Also a drop. Elijah Moore 4 for 84 in the touchdown. He looked pretty good. Everybody else was basically a non-factor. In this one, 9 tackles for JOK. No sacks. Very little pressure. The 1 pick for MJ. The pick 6 at the end of the half. In this one. Well, this was fun. Fun to be on. Fun to hang with you. again, hopefully you got a little bit of excited about what the future can hold. Again, we'll tweak it up. We'll put our little Nagy on Sports spin on everything, and make sure that we try to have as good a product as possible. Again, not just so that the Browns win every game, but that so it looks realistic. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys being on. You guys are the best. Stay tuned to the Discord channel. We'll be announcing when different things happen. But yeah, within probably a day or two, we'll be starting the preseason games. Just because we're, technically 2 or 3 behind. I don't think they do a Hall of Fame game, so we're probably just 2 behind. But we'll get those going here pretty quick. But the new game is here. We're ready to go, and we are excited to get after it. We got to make Ronnie Hickman, too. He's not on the team. Also, Shelby Harris not on the Browns in this roster. Actually, he was, but he wasn't in the game. So we just got to be put on the depth chart somewhere differently. But all right, well, Kid, anything else to say goodbye tonight?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I agree. We'll try to get this thing all tuned up for you all. But in the meantime, I guess enjoy the hair, because that seems to be the centerpiece and the piece de resistance, at least currently. But we certainly have one little mini glitch to go with. I might have to clip that one and throw it on our highlight reel, because that was kind of fun and entertaining. But certainly not the most enjoyable game, but certainly interested in getting to see the new Madden, and hopefully we'll have a better product as we move forward.
Absolutely. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the flip side. So today we will say, as always, go
Brown!